All right. Hello. So I missed my stream on Friday. I had a huge Warhammer party that I was getting ready for. Me and my friends duked it out pretty good. Uh, I won my first game, so that was great. Drakari, Order of the Black Heart. And then now I'm moving on to getting my wife's sororitas all set up. So she needed a few models built, so I decided to go ahead and build a few of these Seraphims. This one's my favorite. I really can't wait to paint this one. But I want to try out a new painting technique. I saw a video, and if I can find that video... I think, what was that called now? Slap chop. That's right, I put it into the stream. I forgot. So the slap chop method. I want to try the slap chop method. I won't be needing this at the moment. If anything, maybe I will put it to the side. Because I'll use that with my... I have a few contrast paints I'm going to try, but I just want to see if this is as cool as the video made it out to be. Okay, so I'm going to find... Let's test it on like one of these girls with a helmet, because the ones that don't have a helmet, I really want to be careful with them, because I need to practice on faces, so that'll be my practice. Apologies, I'm gonna see if I can get my autofocus to like hang in there and stop doing what it's doing. Nah, we'll just keep it continuous, that's okay. Okay, so for the first step of the slap chop method that I fundamentally understand, this is my first time through it, so if I mess up, I mess up. It's not a huge deal. I got the black primer. So the next step after black primer is essentially just, it was a gray, and I'm going to be dry brushing gray down and then dry brushing white down after that to give it an extra edge highlight. So I'm just going to use these Army Painter matte black and white, and I'm just going to make my own, make my own gray at this point. I've got a few other ones I could use that are like, I've got Celestra gray, but I think I could just get better results with these two. So you know what, actually I will use this. I need to use it for mix-ins. It's a little wet. A little more wet than I would honestly prefer. But I kind of overdid it a little bit. There we go. Perfect. I also have a makeup brush that I had taken from my wife, and I'm going to try to use it with that. They recommend these quite a bit. I want to see how this worked out. So if not that, I do have a brush somewhere up here that I've been using for dry brushing for quite some time. That one's so frayed and stuff, it's a little hard to deal with, but yeah, we'll just do that for now. But I'm going to just use this crappy brush for mixing. That way I don't have to I don't want to mix too much into that makeup brush. Okay. Got our black down. Get some white down. I'm going to use a lot of this because if it works out pretty well, I might as well just do all 5 of the Seraphims Then he also said to just thin it down just a teensy bit, that way it rolls off the brush when it needs to. Okay. Okay, make a brush. And you're going to do this until hardly anything shows. And we're going to have the sun facing essentially this way. Let's actually get that in shot so you can see. And we're going to keep anything that is supposed to be dark, dark, or shaded. I think my autofocus is just going to mess with things. I should probably just turn that off, honestly. Okay, maybe tap autofocus is not a good idea. Oh, it is. Never mind. Hey, it worked out. Oh, this is kind of annoying. I have to have... There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do all the sisters base coat like this for now. Okay, that's one. I don't think this one's all the way on the wire, so it might fall off. Yeah, that's definitely gonna fall off. Yeah, that one I'm gonna have to come back to. It's okay. Alright, I'll just do this dodgy girl. Let's have the light shining at her this way. Oop, gotta be careful with this one too. This isn't looking too bad. So I like this method. I think I might stick with this. Now, I did I glue all these together before I paint because I'm weird like that. But to me, honestly, it's just so much easier to deal with. Yeah, that looks nice. Yep, there we go. Fell off the stand, I knew it. Okay, that's 2 done. On to number 3. And now, I keep seeing this, but I need to make sure that when I'm dry brushing, and it's a good tip too for anybody who's learning, is to make sure like you want to make sure nothing is like fully coming off, and you don't want to keep touching the same spot over and over and dabbing. You want to make sure, like what I'm doing, use this whole thing, because what it'll do is if you use the same thing over and over, it's just going to tear up the paper, and then you're going to get a bunch of paper in your paint. There we go, that looks good. Oh shoot, I broke a chain. I forgot about that chain that I put on her. It's a little detail. Oh, I'm rough with shit, that's what I get. we'll glue this back on, I guess, while we're at it. It was just a rosary, but, you know, still something I don't want to break off. Yeah, that one's going to be tough to avoid, so for now that's okay. Come back to that one. This one is the one I had to come back to as well. The base on it's just a little wobbly. Nothing a little sticky tack can't fix. Perfect. First, I just want a little more over here on this girl because she just looks a little darker than the other two. That tack didn't stick very well either. She gonna fall. Let's see how long we can go. Just gonna be super gentle. It might not look like it, but I kind of am. I'm trying to be. One more and then Gray's done. Oh, it's the cool one too. That one's my favorite. I'm gonna try not to get her face if I can, because I'd like to keep that dark, but if I get a little, I guess it's okay. Too much paint. Okay, that's looks like all of these girls for the most part. Minus a few little details on some of these other little ones. bricks, we go with white, like pure white, or a lighter white. We'll just add white to what we've got. A bit more white. There we go, that's what we want. That looks really nice. Yeah, that's dope. Okay, I like that. That's looking dope. I like it. I can add a little more actually to this one too. I think I was a little skimpy on it. I was afraid the first time. I don't want as much, but I can go a little buck wild with it. Three more after this, or two more, something like that. Nothing too nuts. So today was pretty fun. Went out to the wife's parents' house. Got to hang out with my brother-in-law, talk some video games and movies. Then had some really good food. Had a couple beers with the father-in-law, and then we just kind of took off. But before that, we went to Costco and got some groceries and some miscellaneouses that we've been needing for a little while. And then now that I'm home, I think the wife is in bed and then I'm painting. It's great. This one's probably not going to stay on the stand. I might need to be careful with this one. this Harry Potter music? Why am I listening to Harry Potter music? Is it Warhammer music still? That's what I wanted it as. It is not. I'm okay with it though. It's... No, I'm not. I want 40k ambiance. And you know what I want? I want faith and devotion. Oh, let's see. Dope. One more girl. This one's not on there very well either. But I'll make it work. Cool, and now we can just fill it in with color more or less. This should make it look really dope. Thank you, Brooke, for letting me unknowingly use your makeup brush. It won't be full of paint tomorrow, I promise. Alright, dope. Now we'll do our colors. What was it for that? I need... Yeah, burgundy. Burgundy. It's the main color for these chicks. Pardon me. Super apologies. I want my follower goal box to actually work. thought I had my brother followed me. Should be at 1. Can I trick it? I think I can trick it. Just go to my alert box, I think. Sorry, I'm super new to streaming, so...
We are the Emperor's chosen.
I was gonna say, it should have upped it by 1, because Jared, you're on there, I promise. Ah, yeah, see, okay. It's on the stream now. Yay, okay, so Jared, you're my 1. Thank you. I forgot to put that on there from the other day. Okay, now we'll actually use a nice brush. I want this like really watered down. And now I might try Magos Purple really quick, just to see. 'Cause I've heard really good things about these contrast paints on their own. But I can just make my own contrast paints technically. Girls, get away from me. looks pretty good. So the contrast purple's nice. I'm gonna try the other one that I have. It's a different. It's not a contrast paint. Clearly, it's not a contrast paint. Yeah, that's on pretty thick, but I could thin that out, so it's okay. Kind of covering up some of this shading that I did, and I don't know if I quite like that, because I do like the shade, but I think contrast paints are going to be a big thing, or I'm going to have to really, really thin these out. It's probably going to be the case, or just less layers. Probably less layers, I would assume. Because if I can do a few layers and then keep it thin enough to see through, that's really all I care about. Because I still want to see that shade change, so I guess I just can't do too many layers. Woohoo, it's through my brush. Fumble. That could have been really bad, actually. Yeah, those contrast paints look a lot nicer on the final end than the regular purple that I have, honestly. It's a little lighter, but I can add a few layers and make it work. This, it's okay. It keeps some of that detail in there, so that works. Oh, this is not on there quite good. Okay, I gotta fix that. It's bugging me. Yeah, that stand's kind of bugging the crap out of me. I gotta really tack that down, but that's okay. I'll get back to that after that. I don't want to touch it until it's dry, so I'll just let it be fiddly on that thing until it's dry. Oh, this one's my favorite. Are we in focus? I think my autofocus is being really finicky. Or it's off. It's one of the two. I think I turned it off. Continuous autofocus, please. Thank you. Hell yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. These are gonna be purple. Any bit of like loose cloth or robes is purple. Or burgundy to be like super duper specific. Jabisma, hi, which colors are you using? Is it contrast paint? So right now, I do have a contrast paint. I don't have many on my wall. So I have Magos Purple. But I kind of like, I'm watering down, I'm using Bracknar Burgundy, and then I'm watering it down with this. And it really helps kind of preserve it, at least the gradient. Kinda. I mean, I'm not. This is the first time doing it, so I'm learning as I go, but I might want to have used Magos. But in the long run, you know, honestly, they're going to look pretty good anyways, so I can't get finicky with these, like, really minute details. I know that's what it's about, but I got an army to crank out, so, well, two. I've got my Drakari, and then I've got my wife's sisters, so I'd like to get them at least board game ready. I mean, they're board game ready, but looking pretty. Okay, there's all the burgundy on those two ladies. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, okay, here, I'll give you... Let's see, awesome, it has a nice flow. Here's a comparison. It does look a lot nicer, but this is the Magos purple, the first layer of it. And then this is the first layer of just the liquidized Bracknar Burgundy. Might be a little hard to tell with my lighting, but like if I did a few more layers of the actual contrast paint, it would just equal out to what I've got right here. So I feel like I would just be wasting a ton of time doing layer after layer after layer of the contrast when my float is working just fine with less layers. Maybe I'm making a like newbie mistake, but to be honest, it's all good. I'm just having fun with it. I think this is the only one that doesn't have purple on it, so get that going. Focus, please. Thank you. I think my lighting over here is a little on the bright side. Yeah, that works. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, shoot, this is one of those stupid wobbly ones. So I had to kind of make my own little stand for these ones because they're such a pain in the butt to paint when they can't sit on their actual stand. So you'll notice, like this one, some are gonna wiggle and I can fix it. I just am being lazy. Yeah, okay, I can't work with that. I actually have to do something about it. 2 seconds, and I will be right back. It's just right across the room. You can still hear me as I'm walking right across the room. Hey, look, there's my Nintendo Switch. Hey, look, there's my PlayStation. Hey, look, there's my cat. Hi, Pippin. Oh, shit, I didn't find what I was looking for. Never mind. Well, I found a cat. So, oh, hey, that's what I was looking for. It was right over here. Oof. By the way, this is Pippin. He's my amazing fluff ball. And he's a good boy. Autopilot boy. Okay, so yeah, it's this one. So usually I use sticky tack, and I can use this too, but just a little bit of basic clear transparent stuff just on the tip of the paper clip, and then I bored holes in the bottoms of their jetpacks that wouldn't interfere with when I put them on the clear stands, because they all come on, well, they're all gonna go on these stands. So I can't just paint these as is, and I don't want to drill holes in the feet, because, I mean, you'll see their feet. I'm not gluing their feet down on the stand. So I had to drill. It's like in the back of the jetpack. I can't even show you. But to be honest, I think I just need to do what I was doing earlier and just heat it up and melt it in there a tiny bit. As long as I don't do it too much, it doesn't damage it. It's still not on there. Man, this is gonna be the end of me. Cat with sunglasses emote, nice. I'm fairly new to Twitch, I assume that's a good thing. I mean, the cat with sunglasses, that's always going to be a good thing. Okay, that's good enough. She is on there. Now we can continue. Yes, we can continue. And I still have to be careful. She's wiggling a tiny bit. But it's enough for me to get some layers in. Focus. Thank you. It's because I've got... It's probably just the weird angle. Keeps wanting to focus down onto the Tunnelist and the Raider. The inside of this cloak is going to be lavender, like a very light lavender. I'm just going to do a base coat of purple just to get it on there. It's easier than painting a million lavender coats over black. There's just so much cape with this one. This was the one that, like, when you put it together, the legs are in... Holy moly. Are in, like, a few different pieces. I am knocking everything over, guys. Yeah, their legs were in a few different pieces, so, like, I had to hold it in just, like, the dumbest way forever for the glue to dry. For this one, specifically. Just the way the legs are shaped. I don't know what it was. It was just a pain in the butt to put together. I think that I felt dumb because I had to like stare at it for a minute to make sure that I was actually doing it right. Because the way the photo showed in the thing, it didn't really like help any. Here, actually, I'll show you how confusing this bullshit is. Now, maybe I'm just being dumb, but this one, okay. Right here. 6A. That leg and how to put it on the torso right up here confused the shit out of me for forever, because no matter how much I like manipulated it, it would not fit. It would not fit into place, and it felt wrong every time I put it into place. So this time it's in there, but it's in place. But F&A, it was like the most annoying troop it's not even a troop, but just anything that's small like this to put together solely because of that stupid leg. I think I'm gonna have to find a better method onto holding these girls onto these paint holders, because this isn't working in the spot I've got it. Just some of this. I don't know why I paint some of this hidden stuff, but why not? I'm OCD, I know it's painted. Cool, they all have some purple. I'm gonna go back a second time over these. Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember what is weird, but I'm also kind of sitting on my weed vape, so like I'm super forgetful as a normal person, and I should not be. Well, I mean, I can enjoy some marijuana, but marijuana, and yeah, so I'm a little forgetful. But I'm sure it was weird. And plus, I'm in the zone. I'm just like, I feel pretty good about this, like, the leg position. Yes, yeah, duh. No, it is. It's dumb. It's super dumb. I feel good about this gradient. So, I was watching a video of how to slap chop, and I don't know if it was Squigmar or it was some other YouTuber that painted on Twitch at some point. But it really put some stuff into perspective with the mini painting. It made it, at least I don't have to worry about being super anal with the details now. Also, I won my very first game of 40K. I had a big nerd weekend with all of my 40k buddies. There's about 7 of us, and 4 of them made it out on Saturday. And they came, I live in Michigan, so they came up from the Upper Peninsula and some other, a few miles out, and crashed at one of my buddy's places, but he came over too, and we had a huge Warhammer game. We had 3 or 4 of them. It was pretty fun. I used my Drakari against his Craft World Eldari, and that was actually we were both looking forward to that fight because we wanted to do an Eldar versus Eldar match. And we did an objective-based, essentially capture the flag, and I was on that shit. He could not keep me off any objectives, and I ended up winning like 45 points to 30. He did kill all my units at the final end of it, which was, something, but because he had the Eldar Wraith Knight, or the Wraith Lord. He had a Wraith Lord, and it was doing some work, but he just could not keep up with my raiders. They moved too quick, and then I just kept taking his spots after he would walk away from him, because I took out all of his troops. Because he was kind of silly and didn't take that many troops, but I think he did. He had a few there. I'm just gloating, though, because I won my first game, and it's been like a year since I picked up the hobby, and was, well, no, honestly, I take my painting more than my playing seriously, so. Yeah, my buddy, congrats on building a Chaos Space Marine army. Looking forward to try that out. My buddy keeps wanting me to get into Chaos Space Marines solely because he just picked up the Knights Codex when it came out. He's been collecting Knights since we first started, and he hasn't really been using them because we all have 9th edition, and he's just waiting for the 9th edition. But he finally got it, and the Chaos Knights in there are fucking dope. I would love to have a Chaos Knight. And if I wanted, so I have my Drakari army, and then this is my wife's army. So I can't necessarily say it's mine, but I personally would like either a Chaos army. Well, I would like a Chaos army, but either I would like Noise Marines. I like the idea of just a bunch of Mohawk-wearing, guitar-slapping Space Marines with a giant Chaos Marine that has like a Mad Max-style guitarist on the top. That would be fun to build and paint. But then I also want Death Guard. I really want Death Guard. I just finished reading a good chunk of The Buried Dagger, and holy moly, it's a good book, but man, Mortarian's fucking scary. And just having that army, I like to paint gross looking things, so be kind of cool.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
Hey dude, thank you for following. I appreciate it. You're my first follower that isn't family, because my first follower was my brother, which I still love. But nice, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not I'm trying to be more on it, but I'm not trying to be big time super stream moneymaker. I'm just Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I like to paint my streaming after I get out of work at midnight. And then on the weekends, if I happen to have free time, I like to do it. Depends. For the most part, it just depends. And Jabisma, I just had to slow down and read your name. I wanted to just be like, Jay. So have you played competitively at all, or are you just kind of with like play with a close friend group, because that's usually what I've done so far. I've got a buddy the one who plays Eldar, who's debating on doing competitive play, but after I tabled him, well, he tabled me, but I still fucking wrecked him with points. I know he wants to do competitive, but I'm kind of interested in it now that I saw that I had some potential to win. Now that I've because I finally read my Drakari Codex. I spent like the first year just painting them and making them look pretty, but I had really no idea how to play them. And now that I know how to actually play them, holy moly, I like it. It's fun, hit and run. Not just that, lots of poison. And Archon. Archon's scary as shit, but I just learned how Miracle Dice work too. That's fine, I'm starting in the hobby, so watching people paint and learn from them, it's cool. Oh yeah, dude, trust me. When I first started, like, my stuff, I would say I had my first mini put somewhere, but I actually chopped him up and used him to be the Tantalus back in the background's captain. I needed a captain to kind of kit bash together, so I just took that one. It was just a random Cabalite. So what I did, at least to get this gradient, black primer, just straight black primer, and then I take here's my, it's literally a makeup brush. These things are awesome. So you take your makeup brush and you just dry brush with a makeup brush, and I swear by it. It is so much better than an actual paintbrush when it comes to dry brushing or to giving that faded effect. I might have gone a little too far with some of it. There's a store nearby where people get together and play. Sadly, no friends are in the hobby. Yeah, that sucks. I feel for you, man. Like, my buddy Tom, so the way that it started out at the time, he was my supervisor. And he was talking to his friend group, and this is kind of before I met all of my current friends. But he's like, hey man, me and all my friends, I'm trying to get them into this board game, Warhammer, and he just kept kind of mentioning it here and there, and like doing the typical, like, trying to initiate me, and at first I was just like, yeah, I don't have the time or the money, that one's loose, I'll deal with that one later. But eventually he got me a box of Eldari, or not Eldari, but Drakari Cabalites for Christmas. He said it was because I was helping him out on his team, because I wasn't on his technical shift, but I was helping him out. But then I found out later on that he bought all of his friends a starter box of troops for a random faction each that they mentioned that they liked. And he pretty much just gave us drugs. He gave us the first one for free, and then the rest of it we've been buying. Thank you, Tom. Cool, I haven't dared to use the dry brushing technique yet. To be honest with you, it's gonna be like the easiest technique when it comes to getting your bases down. And then, like, you can focus on the little final details, like how I'm doing with this brush, but like dry brushing is a really good way to get certain things down. Like, let me grab one of my guys over here, and I'll show you what dry brushing can do if you're like really... Hi Pippin, that's my cat, he's just being a baby. I know I had another dude in here somewhere. I might have put him away, but here is one. I don't want to run you over, man. Watch yourself, bud. I don't want to... And he rolls down in front of my chair and lays down. You booger. This is a Blaster Cabalite, and this is like what dry brushing can get you. I did it with that red. if my camera will focus. And then I just cleaned it up with the black, and it was a lot easier than doing line work. But it took me a few tries to get right, and to be honest with you, you just get a few troop armies and or troop boxes, and just pick a ugly troop with an ugly helmet, and just like play around with your techniques, and it takes time. Definitely takes time. Like, I'm sure I've gone through at least a dozen Eldar units before I actually learned how to paint, and even then it's, I'm still learning how to paint. Just as long as you're having fun doing it, honestly. So I have got a buddy who's always, I kind of feel bad because I always like to post my painting stuff, and he's he really wants to. He's like, I want to paint good, and I mean all their stuff looks good, but they're trying to get a little too much. I don't know what I'm saying. But is my phone charged? Because if it is, yeah, I'm dropping this charging cable. I keep bumping into it. Okay. So I'm just getting this paperclip hot enough to melt into the back of this jetpack in a hidden spot that I've got. That way this sticks to the model without drilling. Perfect. Yeah, I'm keeping all my minis to keep track of the progress in my painting technique. Yeah, I wish I kept my first one, but to be honest with you, he was ugly as crud, and I needed a unit. I was so desperate. Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll move these out of the way for 2 seconds. So here's the Tonalist. I had a friend at work gift me this for free. It's China cast. It's not real Forge World. It was broken and warped and all sorts of fucked up when I got it. I fixed it up. This is a huge model, but this guy, the gunner, I had to kit bash him, and he's my first painted mini. I just broke his legs, put better legs on him, gave him a better hand and a better helmet, and just kind of overall retrofitted him. And I threw some other troops on there too that I used to do paint testing with, and that way they're just on there now. But it's just all about practice. Practice makes perfect. Art doesn't, seriously, skill in art is not something that comes overnight. I've been fartsy artsy my whole life, and then it's just applying it to this medium that's been a little different. Well, a lot different, because I used to do pottery and a lot of oil paintings and stuff, and the oil paintings are not 1 inch tall, so that makes that also a lot harder. Okay, if I can get this to melt into here. I think it's good enough. I just need to be able to paint with it. It doesn't need to be super Loctited in there. Okay. Get more burgundy. I know we left off on somebody. I know I had to redo the order because of the breakage. I love this unit. I love this model. I think this model is just so cool. I love the hair. I love the mask. I love the the flamers. I mean, I love it all. I think it just looks so badass. I cannot wait to fully paint this one. But I'm kind of worried, so I'm a little hesitant on being trying new things with this one. I might just do it on some of the helmeted gals first, just to kind of get my technique down with these. I have been painting Drakari for 3 weeks straight, so I've been I'm going from blacks and reds and blood for the blood gods on my spiky weapons, and dark coppers and evil things to lavenders, lovely lavenders and burgundies, and their main armor is going to be silver, and it has gold embellishments on it with a very light, I use Gene Stealer purple for the inside of the cloak. And shoot, you know what? I have an example right here. Duh. Come here, lady. Yeah, the sisters do. They really do. The only downside to these guys is, like, all my friends have Space Marines and stuff, and their models are so huge compared to these. So I have to be really on it with my detail. This is what her army is going to look like in the long run. Yet again, this is like a first one that I worked on, so her face is all jank and her hair is real thick. But, you know, you live and learn, and you kind of got to play it by the 2-foot rule. The 3-foot rule is when it's on the table, nobody's going to be seeing if the eyes are perfect or not. You know, I only have it up to here like this when I'm streaming and when I'm, like, putting them online, but beyond that, macro shots or micro shots don't matter. But this is the basic. I have a Celestine that's mostly painted too, and some other ones. I think those are all packed away, but beyond that, yeah, I got a few fully painted sisters, but not many. I've got more Drakari painted than anything. Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I painted, when did I paint that one? I painted that one sometime around October, or no, it was early September last year, but I had to take a pause on a lot of Warhammer stuff because we got married and we were on our honeymoon, and like we were out and hanging out on Mackinac Island and just loving it. And honestly, that was like the last time I really worked on the sisters. This is the first night I've like picked up painting them in a long time. But I really had to get those Drakari done. I'm a completionist, and like I had a good chunk of the army painted already, but then I got the Tantalus and some other ones, and like I'm just being anal about it. Will you focus? You silly goose. Okay. Now, my whole thing is I'm hoping that some of these colors, like, I'm hoping the shading bleeds through. But if it doesn't, it's not a huge deal. I'm, like, not fully slap chopping anymore, I think. My slap chop technique isn't perfect, but I just don't have that many contrast paints. And if I, like, super duper thin these down, I don't think it's going to look, because I'm just going to be layering it. It'll look the same anyways, so we'll just see what it does. But it's nice. I do like the silver, the bits right here and there. I just don't know if I want to keep them that or if I want to actually paint them silver. Because it looks good. But it's just gray. It's a little flat. So, you know, and I want to make these, I want to put some very bright red in these flamers just to make them look dangerous, like the warning of red. I saw a video of it, and I with the red flamer canister, and it looked really cool. So I think I'm going to do that too. The weapons I don't necessarily make match 100% with the models either, like the colors, because it's just a weapon that they're grabbing out of an armory. It shouldn't be like a tailored weapon unless they're a character model or something. They're just grabbing a weapon out of an armory or something if you think about it that way. So they have some bronze in there too. I'll keep those gold. So like these balls on the wings and stuff. I think I'll do that. I'm gonna do those gold. A lot of the trim is gold. here's the weird one. Doing the stanky leg that was a pain in the butt to put together. They have a beautiful color scheme. Thank you. You know, my wife, my wife picked it out. I just told her pick 3 colors, and I would work from there. And she said purple, silver, and gold, and I just was like, all right, I can work with purple, silver, and gold. So now I've got like 50 different things of purple and silvers and golds, and on top of that, I do a little bit of this and that, but I try to just keep the theme with the 3 colors. Faces is like the big one I'm working on, though. Honestly, I've been keeping a lot of these sisters, and I've been a little like intimidated by them because of the faces. But like I've built a lot of them with them exposed, purposely to give myself a challenge. So, here's one of my faces that I actually did recently it was a test. And have we played together, or is she just waiting for the army to be battle ready? We have played. I've got a 500-point army for both of us set aside. It's not, hers isn't painted, but it's built. So we've played. We've played a few, and then she played against my friends the other night, and she was doing pretty good. But this is a project face I was doing for Yanari, and the pupils I'm still working on. It's a pain in the ass to do, but like everything else is okay. That's really bright. Here, let's do that. That makes it actually like visible. Look into his eyes if it will focus. Yeah, that's one I was working on, but the rest I haven't really like put that much detail into yet. Yeah, we both are battle forged too, which is nice. So, we can practice here and there. Say I've got a board set up over there, and I thought about streaming it the other night, but I didn't have a setup to actually do it, so. But we've been playing it a bit more. I was just telling her and my brother-in-law, like, I just, like, I used to be super huge into video games. I just got into Warhammer like a year ago. Yeah, faces are scary, dude. You gotta learn. I mean, there's a layering trick, and it works well. But if you have models like sisters or anything that is like human scale, like me, good luck. Eldari faces suck. Sisters' faces suck. They're so tiny. But Space Marines, I'm so jealous. All my friends have like big, chunky Space Marines heads that are freaking watermelon size, so they're easy to paint. And it's like, oh, they look so good. Oh, it's because the detail's like literally 3 times scaled up higher. So I'm a little salty about that. But it just makes my faces when they're painted nicely look even better because they're tinier, so it's harder for me to get. I can't say it enough. I fucking love this model. She just looks so badass. She's just like fucking just like burning them as she's flying away. Is this one still loose? Nah, we fixed that one. Okay. Or I fixed that one. I did all the work. Because I'm Cody. I don't know where I was going with that. So, pause. Yeah, I think my first face that I did was my Archon. No. It was a random army troop that I had. And I glazed the paint on his face so fucking thick that I, like, lost all definition to where his face ended up looking like a helmet. And I just cut it off. And I just replaced it. it was like fully painted too. I just said fuck it because it looked so off, but like this stuff has been my saving grace for that kind of thing. Any kind of flow additive, or like here's another one that I like. Cheap Hobby Lobby stuff. Flow medium on a wet palette, and it's wonderful. Makes it so much easier. So, whereabouts are you from? Just curious. I feel like I kind of sounded like Hank Hill for a second right there. Whereabouts you from? That's not even what he sounds like. I'm really bad at impressions too. Hi, welcome to my channel. Chile, nice. Okay, cool, cool. So then down in Chile, I know. Well, I don't know really anything about Chile. How is it down there? I'm always open to learn about new countries and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like the American stereotype, and I've been trying to break it well, I see it a lot, and I've been trying to be more like, a lot of xenophobia, and I hate it. I really do. I bet it's beautiful down there, unless you guys are in your winter, because we're in our summer. If that's how the hemispheres things work, American education, you can't judge me. No Child Left Behind. I literally got sent through all of my grades with Fs because I was not 18 yet, because I couldn't miss out hanging out with my friends. Dumb stuff. It's not even a special ed thing. I wasn't in special ed, by the way. It's just a Michigan or US thing. It's kind of dumb. So I really didn't learn shit until I got to 18, and then they were like, you have to get all A's or you're gonna fail. And I did all A's for my junior and senior year, summer school and after school, both times, and I still graduated on time with straight A's in every class, motherfuckers. Because I was smart. I was just a lazy stoner that got away with it because I was manipulating the system. By the way, I ramble about like really dumb shit at like 12 in the morning because I work second shift then, so usually I'm like wide awake anyways. And I have to be a bit of a jerk at work anyways. I'm a supervisor, so like I can't really be myself at work, so it's nice to loosen up at home. I mean, the wife gets to deal with it all the time anyways, but my friends are all lame and they work for shift jobs, so they sleep. But you guys aren't lame if you're watching later. You're not, I promise. It's a long country. Yeah, I do remember seeing that on the map. I don't want to be like totally ignorant to geography, but yes. We have all kinds of weather from north desert to south, which is basically the South Pole. You know, so whereabouts, like, are you there then? Are you more north or south? Or should I say like desert or more moderate? Yeah, it's always hard. It's always a good place to find your place and rest and enjoy. Yeah. To be honest with you, I really wish I could get out of America for a little bit and like visit another country and just kind of get away. It's kind of weird, but like Michigan used to, I mean, it's still a very like pro-choice, a very like the mindset, it's a very, what is the word? diversive. It's a very diversive and inclusive area, and like a lot more of these like crazy white supremacist crap things have been going on. And even like it kind of like freaks me out a bit. Go stay in Ireland for a little bit or something. But I would like to get out. I just hate the idea of like, I don't want the world to, because I've had friends who have traveled recently now, and he's like, yeah, you get out and people look at Americans and it's like, ah, fuck. I don't want to be looked at like that. It kind of sucks. I'm stoned, by the way, so I'm probably getting way too deep into this own conversation, but you guys are along for the ride, and that's all cool. I'm in the middle, so we have all the seasons. It's very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. Hey, so yeah, I'm in Michigan, and it's about the same up here. And if you don't know, in the States, Michigan's the one that's shaped like the hand. And I live like right here on it, and we get like 4 feet of snow in one night, some nights to negative 10 degrees, and then I think it's like 112 sometimes in the summer. It's like the weirdest crap. But the shitty part about it is muggy. It's because it's like all swamp and stuff around us, so it is just muggy, and there's mosquitoes everywhere. I live in between 3 big lakes. So it's like mosquitoes galore. I'm sure you have your fair share of mosquitoes down there, if not probably way worse. Like I couldn't imagine. Is this one still drying? That is drying. I don't want to paint on something that's drying because... Yeah, there we go. That's Stanky Lake Girl's fixed again. I don't want to tear the paint because I am going to go over this with a contrast to try to give it a little bit of like a gradient. Just a slight one, nothing too crazy. Oh, hey, Droid Cam stopped working. I just noticed that. Sorry about that. Sometimes it does it. I use my phone. Droid Cam, stop being a bitch. Thank you. I hope that wasn't out for too long. I wasn't really paying attention. This one got some spots that I missed, but that's okay. Oh, that's the inside part. I don't even actually have to worry about that. That's going to be a whole different color. Okay, Cody, I have to go now. Thank you very much, and hope to find you streaming soon. Well, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'll be here, so I appreciate you checking in. It's good chatting with you. It's nice to chat with somebody finally. But take it easy. Have a good night. I'll be on for a little bit longer. Well, probably more than a little bit longer. What time is it? It's 1:02. Yeah, I'll be on for about an hour more. By the way, if anybody's watching too right now, or if you're watching back in the future, hit me up on Twitter. I've got my Twitter stuff on my profile, but let me know like what you think about my profile banner. I just updated it a few days ago. Um, it's nothing special. I just hopped on a free Photoshop thing I found because I don't own Adobe Photoshop. Not yet, at least. And fudge, I got purple on the blade. That's okay. It's an awkward angle. There we go. But yeah, I put something together for my channel that I felt like looked really dope. It was something interesting. I just like the look of the Blood Angels and the sister. Felt like it was for like it looked like my wife's unit a bit. I mean, it is a sister, but. But beyond that, I just like to get some feedback. I've been on Twitter a bit more than like Facebook. Honestly, I kind of gave up on Facebook. I only post shit on there for my grandma and like my mom and for Zuck to spy on. And to be honest, he can spy on my garden. That's fine. I just put stuff about like I have a vegetable garden that goes up on there. So I kind of use Twitter because it doesn't have my family on there and I can post anything. So I'm gonna sound lame, but I'm 30 and I'm like just now kind of getting into like Twitter and stuff. I just never had the appeal for it or saw the appeal at the time. But now, you know, I just like to throw dumb shit thoughts out there and then not have it be like my family going, what the fuck? It's just like, yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Now, when it comes to like the silvers and the golds and stuff, I'm gonna water those down like no other to get a true contrast paint to see if I can really get that effect, because I do know this purple it's covering it up a little bit, and it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Just a test, for more or less, I should say. I just noticed that my chat's not actually working either. Hey-o. I don't want Twitch panels, I want widgets. It's always giving me the introduction with this, but like... I've been there and I've done that. Oh, you know what? I bet you it was just there and it was like... disappeared or something. Maybe I'm just stoned? I think I'm just stoned. Whatever. Back to painting. These little stands that I made today too are pretty nice. I like them. I just took old wine corks, glued a washer onto the bottom, well, adhesive one, and then wham bam, easy DIY paint handle that's got weight to it. I forgot this girl's wearing a hood. And if you're watching this like in the morning and stuff tomorrow, by the way, thanks for dropping in. I really do appreciate people coming and saying hi. I have had a lot of failed streams. But I was always doing dumb shit stuff like playing video games that nobody cared about, and then not even that, like games that I wasn't really having fun with. But now, this painting is really changing the game. It's so much more fun. And then I get to chat with people who are more or less very knowledgeable about Warhammer that I don't really get the opportunity to do that too often anymore with my friends at work. I'm gonna do Mago's purple over this now, just so I don't get it too thick, but it has a bit of a contrast to it. Oh, we'll hope it has contrast to it, I should say. Or adds contrast to it. I'm already seeing some pretty promising results. That's nice. Gives it a nice pop. God, I really do. I think this model is just this is such a badass model. I love the face, I love everything about it. I'm gonna take real good care of this one. At least paint-wise. And I'll probably grab some more straight out the bucket. This one's okay to add on a little thick because when it dries out, it will dry in a contrasting color, which will be pretty cool, hopefully. Haha, that's my pot. I almost spilled that. You guys saw that, right? That was dangerous. Not like losing a whole pot of purple is gonna like kill me. It might hurt the Brooks army. Okay, guess I am gonna do some real dangerous stuff if I'm not gonna slow down. I'm sure eventually I should get a compilation of like myself just about fucking up all my own projects. Get inside of the booty cheek area. And then we'll grab her sleevey bits. And then I'm going to do a nice big bit on her hood. Because I think I only got like one layer on there. This looks like a lot, but it's not. It'll dry very thin. And it should give it a nice pattern on the outside of the hood that kind of follows the curves of the actual cloth. Alright, I think this is the only one I didn't get like purple on all the way. This is the annoying stanky leg one that took me forever to figure out how to put together. Okay, I'm gonna let purple. It's contrast. It's Magos purple. But I'm putting it over Bracknar Burgundy to hope maybe it does some kind of shading. This is me more or less experimenting. I'm doing dumb shit things while I'm stoned. So don't mind me. You're all good. Hello. Say I'm just doing that. I'm testing a painting technique that I saw on YouTube earlier today, which was the gray bits. So I did black and then a little bit of gray and then dry brushed some white on top for those edge highlights. And now I'm just coloring in the bits that need to be colored. I'm going to see if it saves myself some time, but I didn't quite water down. I don't have a lot of contrast paints, and the one color I needed for purple, I just kind of, it works. It just covered the gradient a little bit, but if it does, it's okay. Because if they all come out looking, this is what they're gonna, well, my first one looked like. So if they all come out looking like that, I'm okay. I kind of like the cartoonier look versus the grimdark look, but I want some more shading in there. This one's already varnished, so I'm not going to go over it, but seems like a legit way to get a squad on the table pretty quick. It really is. From the video that I saw, I mean, it's just gradient with, or dry brush the gradient. Focus, son of a beast. You dry brush the gradient in and then just fill in the color and then bam, done. You don't need to do highlighting or anything or edging or like mixing a bunch of paints together to get your tiny little details. It's just 2-foot rule. It looks cool and you're good to rule. So
We are the Emperor's chosen.
thank you, part of the plan. I very much appreciate that. I got 2 people in tonight. I'm feeling good now. So, and by the way, this model is so badass. I've said it. Oh, fuck. Pardon me. Shit hits hard. I love this model. I really love this model. I think it just looks so badass. Out of everything that's in this Seraphim squad, it looks dope. I'm kind of just bullshitting until the purple's a little more dry. I guess I can move on to... I could do gold trim. I gotta do gold trim before I pop down the silver, so... Gold it is. I'm going to use... Yet again, I don't really... I have a dry brush one, but I don't want to fuck that up because the dry brush look in the end to me looks a little rough. Just lurking while I work. Hey man, that's all good. I've been there and I've done that. And yeah, so we'll do I'm going to use Auric Armor Gold for the little tassel-y bits and the gold trim on some things, and then I think I'm going to use Warplock Bronze on some tubing, just so it's not that, but I might just darken the gold a little bit and have it like I would say more of like a bronze gold. We'll find out. I'll start with a gold layer, and then we will work from there, so... Oh, well, I'm playing being single dad for 2 months, and I'm missing painting and socializing about painting, and so I came to Twitch to make friends. Dude, you are welcome here, that is for sure, because like I said, I work night shift, so like all my friends by the time I get out of work are dead asleep, and yes, they are a bunch of Warhammer nerds, but like we all work during the day, and by the time they're out of work, I'm in work, so I don't have time to really chat with them most of the time. So I get out and I've been streaming, so I can chat with people now. And I feel ya, I really do. But it is nice, especially about a hobby that like is unjustifiedly like it is a nerdy hobby. Absolutely, it's a nerdy hobby. But by God, do I love it. And I like to find people who enjoy it rather than critique it and judge you on it, because I have made the mistake of mentioning to a few people, they go, oh, what do you do on the side? And I say, oh, I paint little space elves on the side that murder people and like to turn people into living couches. And they're just like, yeah, that's weird. That's not how I literally come out and say it. That'd be kind of weird, but I have done that once or twice. So, everybody that I work with, they're just a bunch of sports people. And not gonna lie, I just don't give a crap about sports. I hear a sports betting commercial every other time on the radio, and I see it everywhere, and they stole $900 from me. I got it back, but like somebody took my card and gambled with it, and I just don't. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm stoned. Where was I going with that? Cool story, bro. Thanks, dude. By the way, tell me if I'm rambling, because I do this when I'm stoned, and that's fine. But when I was first streaming, I had a really bad habit of just being super quiet the entire stream, and then I noticed that I would like get a viewer and then they would drop, and get a viewer and they would drop, because I'm just sitting there quietly, like listening to like weird Warhammer ambiance. I put together where you're from, although I'm a state above you, I think. Michigan, if you needed to know, yeah. So you couldn't be a state above me. I mean, unless you're in Canada, which is cool. No, I'm in good old Michigan. focus, you son of a beast. Thank you. Son of a bitch. That's what I need to say. Gold highlight. You know, I kind of like the black and gold. I think that's pretty dope. I mean, the silver's cool, and it's what I've got for one of her troops. But maybe I can make the Seraphims like black armor to distinguish them. Or just keep the contrast. I mean, I really like... Oh, nope. LOL, I figured Colorado with being stoned and seeing sports. Oh, dude, Michigan. All the way. I live down the road. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm literally not exaggerating. 3 blocks away from 2 dispensaries, 5 blocks away from another one, and about 2 miles away from about 4 or 5 more, and one opens up every 5 blocks away. I don't have a problem with it, and I sound like I do, but I just get kind of tired of seeing pot shops on every other corner. It's becoming an issue, like a liquor store issue. But I love them because they give me the green goodies that make me feel, the giggle bush things that make me feel good. I like giggle bush, so it's all good. But yeah, it's all over in Michigan, dude. So, but Colorado, I've got family out in Colorado. I haven't been there. Ooh, that piece is gonna break again. It's super wiggly. Yeah, and the sports book commercials, dude, by the way, every 2.5 seconds in Michigan, too. Everywhere. Once it got legalized, that shit was, like, all over in an instant. Every other billboard, every other anything. I mean, it's stupid. I'm just personally not a gambler, and no, you know, if people gamble, to each their own. I'm not gonna judge anybody for their habits of gambling at all. I just personally don't. I like to get my money and then use it for models or use it for things that I can tangibly use instead of the thought of like maybe. Oh, I'm not in frame. I'm sorry. Instead of maybe getting them, I'm rambling and not paying attention to my own camera. It's looking pretty good. I might not throw silver down on this bitch. I might keep it to keep that gradient, because if I put silver down, I'm going to lose that gradient, and I really like it. So you can't do it either way. Man, it's fine. Say, like, I know plenty of people that don't do it, and I quit. Like, I take months off every so often, and to be honest, I'm going to be quitting for a good long while here in a few more months, but more of a personal thing. I just getting back into shape. Usually it's like the winter time is when I get stoned a lot, because what else is there to do in Michigan when it's like winter but sit inside and paint or like play video games or something, because otherwise it's like -5 out most days. Depends. Sometimes we get those like muggy ass winter days, which are weird, but they're there. It's like warm and still snowy and gross out, and nobody wants to go outside. But in the summer, I typically sober out a bit. That way I can get back into shape a little more, go on hikes. I'm like the weirdest person. I love me some camping. I could sit outside for like a week or two in a tent and just be so content with myself. My parents used to take me out into the woods in Washington State, and we'd live out there for like a week or two in a camper, and then just come back out whenever we felt like it, and it was so nice. But then I also sit in the basement all day and play Pokemon and paint Warhammer minis and read nerd books about space things, and I guess I have best of both worlds, and then I have a wife who likes to go out and go hiking and do all that, but can recite Lord of the Rings script by heart. Blessed is my life, I should say. Love it, love it, love it. Wyoming is similar. We have false spring where it gets like 65 one day and drops 2 feet on us the next. Dude, oh yeah. All the time. I understand you. Like, fist bump on, where's the camera? Bam. Seriously, like, that is one of those things that pisses me off the most, because I'll spend like an hour shoveling through like a foot of snow, and then the next day it's hot as balls, all the snow's gone, and I'm just like, motherfucker, I spent the whole morning, like, it's not, well, I'm exaggerating, the whole morning it still sucks, spent that time, and in the next day it just melted it for me. I didn't have to do it. Like, it's kind of bullshit when I could have been sleeping or doing other things, and then the next day it snows again, and then everything that's liquid on the ground is pure fucking ice, and then it's just pure ice for a solid 2 days. Okay, I'm sorry if I go quiet. I've got really tiny detail right here. I might actually have to get more gold and some stuff on this brush. It's not coming off as easy as it should. No, it's there. It's there. It's just faint. I'm just being finicky. Yeah, I need more on that. Yeah, dude. Sound like you. I totally feel you, man. I really do. Like I said, I understand completely. Shit gets annoying real quick, and Wyoming's like right there. So it's like about the same. Camera, come on. Here, I'm gonna move this down a little bit, because my hand keeps wanting to go down there, so we might as well just move the camera down there. That works out great. Let's do a nice little gold skull. Yeah, I gotta water this down. It's actually... Man, that's like dry already. I don't even have my heat or air on or anything. It's like a moderate 68 degrees in here. Weird. Oof. Yeah, steady now? Yes, definitely. I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't want too much. I'm just gonna liquid this down. Where did I actually... There, duh. It's right here. There we go. Second layer on these. That's turning out nice. And gold. No, I meant the Pokemon painting Warhammer, like it outside Space Books. You see the eclipse tonight. Boy, if it's closest nerd. Oh, that's just picked up a bunch of shinies last week. Sorry, I'll shut the fuck. Dude, you're totally fine. we play Pokemon Go too. We both play Pokemon Go. What team you on? Real question. I don't judge either way, honestly. Realistically. Valor? Ah, Valor, okay. We're Instinct. And it's true. Everything is pretty much just Valor around us, but I annoy the town by putting my yellow up every so often. Can you focus, please, for me? Thank you. You didn't want to fill that, but that's okay. Oh, dude, nice. I haven't played in about in a week or two, but I got first off, I got a shiny Thunderous, the animal form one. Whichever, I got a shiny my first try. It filled my Pokedex as a shiny. Then I got a shiny Rockruff. First raid I did, first Rockruff I caught, first shiny Pokedex entry, and that was cool. And then I had the same thing happen with God, what was it? With the not Gumshoes, but the first evolution of it, the little weasel thing. And I got a shiny, the first one I clicked on the event. It's like, I've had so much good luck with it the last couple of weeks. 3 stars too. See, that's rare. All the ones that I got weren't 3 stars, so like that's still good. That's dope. I've got a shiny Charizard that's I've been Mega Evolving. And by the way, how much do you love the Mega Evolving? Because the Mega Evolving is a fucking game changer, and it's dope, dude. Like, it's so fun now. And it makes fighting in like community days a lot better, because it's like, oh, let's say this community day is a water type. As long as you got a water mega that you can availably like mega evolve for that day, you get extra candy on top of the extra candy for that community day. And it's like that. I like that. It's kind of dope that you get to do that. Hell yeah, dude. 5 shiny Raikou in a row. That is dope. That I don't think I have. I do not have that one. I did get my shiny Latias, and I Mega Evolved that guy. And then I tried for a shiny Latios and gave up after like 13 of them. And I just Mega Evolved like 4, just so I could flex and say that I have 4 Mega Evolved Latios. Beyond that, though, I only kind of do Charizard just because I'm trying to get that one to 3 star. Yeah, dude, I'm serious. Like, the new the Mega mechanics are dope as fuck. It was the game changer that, like, we needed. What's your new favorite Mega? Or not new Mega, but like, what's your favorite one to like Mega so far? Like, I just do Charizard because I really like the shiny Charizard, especially as Charizard Y specifically, because he's pretty dope. She's starting to come together. I like this. This is just one. I still got so many to do. What's the incent nerf? I actually don't know that. I didn't read into that one. I'd love to know. I'm sure it's going to be shitty, or it is shitty. Don't tell me it's like some bullshit like 15 minutes now. You get incense for 15 whole minutes, people. Yeah, Charizard's cool. He's the only one that I've like been able to like justify Mega Evolving over and over, only for the fact that he's just really cool. Should I do Gold Visor? Yeah, I'm gonna do a Gold Visor. Why not? They made it an hour and they get in a half, but you only get a spawn every 5 minutes while you're stationary. That is some bullshit. I thought that, I was playing with it the other day, and I thought something felt really weird when I was like messing with my ins. Whoa! Oh, I almost lost my camera stand. I noticed, like, I was sitting there staring at my screen. I was just like, what the fuck? Because I have a Gotcha Plus, or the Gotcha Evolve, and which is actually right here. This thing's, by the way, if you don't have this for Pokemon Go, get it. Shit's dope. Catches stuff for me, gets stops for me while I'm at the hospital at work. I just sit there and I get stops over and over all day. I've got like 1,000 Great Balls and 1,000 Max Potions and stuff. I don't worry about items anymore. But that kind of sucks, because I was like, I used it the other day, and I'm just like, I'm like, my thing's not vibrating, it's not vibrating, and I thought it was a Bluetooth issue. And I just stared at the Pokemon screen. I kept thinking that like the game itself was glitched out. So you get 60 spawns before at 1 a minute. Now it's 18 total, less than a third effectiveness. Damn, that sucks. So they really did nerf that. And that kind of sucks too, because like with COVID, like you were saying with COVID restrictions too, like people are still like taking COVID very seriously, as they should. And I feel like these companies are just trying to dial back a little too quickly still. I only say this because I work in a hospital, and I only say this because I've seen the morgue, and I only say this because I see the bodies, and I think that we all still need to do a little bit, and like nothing too crazy, but that there's the vast majority of people. Well, there's the big chunk of people who are unvaccinated, and that's the big issue. But slowly but surely, we'll see. At least we can still get remote raid, I guess. Yeah. Hey, do you use the Raid Finder app? Because that thing is like it's been a game changer for me. I had a buddy show me it, and that's when I started picking up and playing again. You can pretty much do a raid from anywhere, literally. You just join in people's lobbies, send out their friend code, or you send out your friend code. You have to like verify your account and stuff, which is dope, so not just anybody can do it to troll. Okay, I gotta get more gold. But Raid Finder is such a dope app, because I just do that and then just shiny hunt back to back to back to back, or just grab in. If you don't pay for it, you have to wait, I think, like the first minute to get into a lobby, and sometimes that means premium users get in. So sometimes you have to wait for a while, but like if you give it a day or two after the raid comes out, you can get in instantly. It's just the day of. It's not worth it. Oh, man. Oh yeah, duh, more gold. I work with a bunch of hyper-conservative people who pretty much just think that the whole thing is a hoax or whatever. It's frustrating. Yeah. Trust me, my friend. I know. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I work with there are some so I work in a hospital, and I won't say which hospital just because I am a supervisor and such, and professionality and bullshit. But like we had lost a good chunk of our employees in the whole hospital. Nurses, reprocessing staff, cleaning like EVS, all sorts of stuff. I mean, because they didn't want to get the vaccine. And like, no matter how much you tried to convince these people that the vaccine is good, it's like, holy fuck, it's like you were like ripping their persona away. And it's like, we're not trying to take your identity. It's like nobody's trying. The government doesn't give a crap about what you do, because this one lady was like, so I'm not gonna lie, like I've had a few people who were like full on saying, oh, it's a microchip, and that was a rumor in our department for a while, that it's a microchip, don't get it. And because I work in a union shop, I'm not union because I'm the boss, but my people are union, and so like they have to get it per our rule as the hospital. And like they threw such a fucking bitch fit over it, and we lost like 3 people, and then like 2 of them ended up coming back and just getting their shot. But like it's like fucking pulling teeth. And all it is just like, we've all gotten it. I don't have side effects. The government didn't chip you. They don't care that you go to Kroger to shop. Nobody gives a crap. It's like your life's not that important to where the government is going to put a chip in your arm to try to find out what you're up to. It's like, what the fuck are you up to half the time? Most of these people, their day, it revolves around melting into their couch, watching ESPN or some bullshit, or sitting in the backwoods staring at trees because they don't got internet and their brother cousin doesn't have anything else going on. It's just some bullshit like that, dude. It's always that. They can track you. I had bad news about your cell phone. Exactly. No. Okay, so I have this kid, this other guy that I used to work with, and he was so like adamant that they were gonna do that, like microchip you. And I'm just like, dude, if they microchip me, good. That means if I ever get kidnapped or something, because like, what am I up to? I don't do fucking anything. Like, I am in my basement painting Warhammer minis, or I'm at work, or I'm with my wife. And we don't really do anything. Like, we just go for walks and hang out, and like, we have like a very King of the Hill life, and I love it. But, but like, I don't care if the government wants to know about what I do. I really don't. Let them. I don't give a crap. They can watch me shower. I'll watch my junk in front of their face. But all these people, it's like their days aren't that interesting. Why do they think that the government is so interested in them? But it's just mass paranoia statewide. My mom was kind of in that boat, and I had to jump her out of it, and it was a little tough on that one. But we've all got family too that do that. See, I took it right away. Our hospital gave it out like pretty quick, so I just was like, yeah, I'll take it, mine, please. Like, I want to keep my job, and I would love to focus, and I would love to, yeah, keep my job. That's what I need to say. I mean, for me, it's like, do you want to keep your job that keeps your pregnant wife and you like fed and housed and stuff, or do you like just want to like be stubborn? Oh yeah, why would I be like, I don't understand why somebody would be stubborn. We've had people who were in that situation other than me that were like, yeah, I ain't getting it. And I'm like, dude, you're about to have a fucking kid. I ain't getting it because of something I read on dailymail.com. Sounds pretty legit, right? It's mail you get daily. Oh man, it's like, fuck you. Besides, a microchipping needle is so much bigger. The ignorance is astonishing. Oh, dude, I work in an operating room. I know exactly what the fucking needle looks like because I give it to the nurses when they call for it. That's well, I run the shift that does it as the supervisor, but I know where all that shit's at in the OR. They call us all the time and say, hey, we need this needle for this. And they use it for like diabetes tracking and stuff. There are chips out there for that, but they're fucking huge needles. Like, it's a straw. Shit's a straw. It's like, just take a McDonald's straw and like narrow the diameter in half, and there you go. That's the needle. Like, it's still a big fucking chip, and some people are just so dumb. Thank you for pointing that out, though, because it does. It is the same exact thing. Because, like, we've got, like, big 60 milliliter syringes that are meant for, like, there is a chip that we have that it's like a diabetes thing. It's all it is. It's like, oh no, the government's checking my blood sugar levels to make sure I'm healthy. Like, it's really all we've got. Beyond that, we don't do any other, like, implants like that. Okay, let's do our nice. I almost forgot our shoulder pad. Shoulder pads, actually. I actually, so funny COVID shot stories. So, like, once everybody started getting mandated for the COVID shots, we had this one woman who, very sweet woman, loved her dearly. I mean, she was such a nice lady. She worked at an old job with me at another place, and, like, I got her into this place because it was, like, I got her out of a shitty job because I got myself out of that place, and, like, she was a mother, and her husband was such a nice guy, and she was just such a sweet woman, church going and very religious. Now, I'm not like religious myself necessarily, but like, I was fine. She came into work and she was like, hey sweetie, and like her son painted Warhammer stuff, and so she always wanted to see my paintings, and she's such a sweet woman. But in the long run, she did not want to get the COVID shot. She left, but ended up like only being gone for 2 days. Came back and was like, I need to have a job. I've got kids. She had 4 kids, or has 4 kids, and I'm like, she got the shot. And then afterwards, I'm not fucking shitting you, she started playing the I'm magnetic card on Facebook, and I thought she was joking, but then she came into work that day and was like, and she was like full on freaking the fuck out, thinking she was magnetic. And then she had like, we have like utensils, and she's like trying to stick stuff to her. And it's like, yes, stuff was sticking to her. It's because it's fucking muggy in Michigan sometimes, and your skin gets sticky. That's what it does. Fuck, my shorts do it to me. Like, I can even understand the whole privacy thing to an extent. Like, I like my privacy. I work in cybersecurity. I'm a professional paranoid. I could even understand the new technology angle to an extent, but fuck, you already work for the fucking government. What are you tripping over? Dude, I feel ya. My main thing is like, I'm just like, we work in a hospital, like, we're just here to make sure people are alright. I don't think the government's gonna try to fucking sabotage the hospitals. They need those too. Like, where's the thought process to some of this shit? I really don't get it. Like, some people just take like Daily Mail stuff so seriously, but no. So like, after we convinced her that she was not magnetic, then she started like acting as if she was like going through some kind of fucking metamorphosis. And she like every day she was like, ugh, I feel like something's changing, and something just in my body's changing, and it just doesn't feel. And I'm like, yeah, that's just the vaccine, sweetheart. Like, it's gonna make you feel like shit. I'm sorry. Like, it did for me. I felt like garbage for like 2 days. And it's like, I did. It's like I felt bad, you know. It's like I felt bad for like I felt I was like couch bound one day on my booster shot, and then after the second booster, I had to call in on work because it was just like I couldn't do anything. I was just sore all the time. And so I called in, but like she just like freaking lost it. But then she started feeling better and all the COVID signs went away, and then it was just kind of one of those deals. But yeah, it's like there's so many weird people like that. I think the rosary beads themselves, I might do like red, because that's what they're supposed to be, is like rosary beads. I think I could do them gold, but I just don't want it to be like that simple. Or I might do the rosary beads like silver, actually. I think I'll do that. I'll use silver for like those bits and then keep the armor gray, so I keep the gradient. That actually works really well. And they're bronze for the tubing. Guns are done, more or less. I don't have to worry about those too much. They're just guns, and they're standard Milita guns, so it's not like they're gonna like customize them in any true fashion, except for the sigil. I might as well color up if it's on the guns. Yeah, but the magnetic thing though, like people are seriously like they believe it. It's not just like some kind of bullshit thing that was on the news that people were like, oh, a couple people thought this. Like, a lot of people thought this. Like, coming from inside a hospital, a lot of people thought this. Trust me. And we see the ER all the time, too. And, like, we got so many people that came in and they were just like, oh, my God, can I get magnetic? I'm magnetic. I don't want to be magnetic. Fix me up. And it's just like, oh, my fucking God, all of you, like, stop. Like, everybody. Thank God I work in the OR, so I don't have to deal with that stuff. I mean, God bless those people, for realsies. Okay, we're going to get to the dope model. I love this one so much. I just want to be very careful with this one. I want this one to be like super nice looking. I work with at least 2 dudes that are on the books for having a bad reaction, like long-term shit. Wait. That are on the books for having... I'm sorry, I have a little dyslexia that I struggle with. Slightly, not too crazy, but... like long-term shit. And that shit happens, and statistically some places are going to have a bunch of cases. That's how statistics work, but unfortunately it really kept a lot of other people from doing it because they were scared. Dude, trust. Yes. And it didn't help that there's just so much fear-mongering going on with it, and like a lot of it was from the churches and stuff around us. Yet again, nothing against people with religion. You know, it's great if people are religious. I find that's cool. I'm genuinely like I'm not into that, but I have nothing against it either. I'm not one of those like incel guys that'll argue why atheism is like 100% real at a party. I don't know. I just don't quite understand that, because my mom was kind of in that league where, well, I don't think it was my mom necessarily, but I know my grandma and like some people that I know were like all into the like God is all I need. God will prevent me from this, and it's like God will he made ya, and God will kill you quicker than he made ya. Like, and he doesn't care. Like, that, if that's the point. God's all, he goes both ways, live or die. And so I'm like, man, all these people dropping, like, I'm serious. I saw the morgues, and like, I still do all the time. They're full. They've got like 2 bodies per table. That's typically not normal. Man, I just fudged that up. I hit something. See if I can clean that real quick. Yeah, the problem is that the evangelical bloc got deep into politics. Yeah. Yes. And yet again, nothing wrong with religion if you like what you like, but fucking A, like, keep it out of my state, please. I just don't... Not even that. It's just... It's kind of one of those, like, it's a very ironic, if you look, the way I look at it. They're the people who are very anti-Muslim. They're the people who are very that's gold. Crap. And that's purple. Very anti-Islamic, very anti-this and that. And I'm just like, they say they don't want that whole, like, Sharia law or whatever. I forget what it is. It's because I don't remember. That's how much I just don't care. And, like, they say it's so bad, but then they're, like, doing this, like, overboard Christian stuff, and it's like the same deal, though. It really is. Ooh, this is like really messy. Too much water. Yikes. I am fucking this up. I'm gonna clean her up before I fuck this up anymore. Darn. I had to do a goof mops. Hey, I can still fix it. Dope. That's still got some gray to it. There we go. I was just doing an off-camera fix. And I'm atheist myself, so I definitely hear you. I'm not angry atheist. I just don't hold my religion against people. My boss is religious, and I'm going through some shit right now. And she's always like, have faith. Yeah, I work at a Catholic hospital, and they do that. But my old manager just retired, and she kind of stopped giving a fuck. And I'm glad that she's gone. I mean, I hate to say it. She's a nice lady, but she just didn't care in the end. But it's like all I would get was just like, well, we'll just pray for you. And it's like, that's not going to help me right now. I need actual hospital help. I know you aren't religious, but I'm just like, ma'am, I'll never begrudge someone's kind. Someone's kind. I know what you mean, what you're saying out of kindness. Yeah. No, dude, I understand. Because, like, I really don't have anything against people who want to, like, listen to that stuff or do that stuff or anything, because my wife goes to church Sundays, and my wife goes to church Sundays, and, like, I'll take her to churches, and I don't like it, but I go for her, and it's fine. I don't have to like it. I've talked to the pastor, and they tried to do their thing with me and try to get me into the herd, and I just did my thing where I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I really appreciate it, but it's like I'm with my wife, and my wife is the one who's into it, and I'm just here to support her. But, like, I don't get it. But some people, man, they just push you and push you and push you. Oh, I hear my puppy. Lizzie. Hi, puppy dog. Hi, baby girl. You guys want to see my puppy dog? Come here, wiggle girls. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, where is she? Lizzie. This is my little girl, Lizzie. She's about 2.5. About 2.25. She's my little lap dog. She's a pit bull terrier mix. She's got cute socks, and she's the biggest sweetheart in the world. Pit bulls are the best animals. I love them. Oh, such a good girl. And look at that tail. Yeah. She likes to cuddle with me. She thinks she's a lap dog. You good? Yeah. Staffordshires? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. We got her at the local animal shelter. She just was abandoned. Well, not abandoned, I should say. Yeah, come on up, sweetheart. Yeah. You want up all the way? Yeah. Big baby. Big baby. Oh, sweetheart. Yes. So the previous owners had kids and cats, and that's what we were looking for, and they gave her up at 6. Whoops. Gave her up at 6 months because they had lost their house or something, and yeah, I honestly, the whole thing. I don't think you're messed up on it. I don't know myself either, but yeah, I mean, like, all the checks were there, and then she was the only dog that wasn't barking in the kennel, and it was just like going nuts. Everything was full, and she looked so scared. And when we pulled her into the room to meet her, she was just like super duper friendly, wanted to kiss and love, and just wanted everything. And I had to take her, and she's such a sweetheart. Sleeps in bed with us some nights, and she's just like the biggest cuddler. Loves sleeping under the covers. Pit bulls are like the best dogs. Oh man, I can't handle that stupid vape. It's so intense. God, sorry guys. Top quality content. Welcome to my channel. You know what? This needs more liquid. It's just way too thick. These gold paints really thicken up so quick. I really don't know what it is. The American Staffordshire Terrier is similar to the Pit Bull Terrier, though the Pit Bull Terrier is not recognized by the American Kennel Club. So no, they're not the same. But yes, pitties are terriers. So yeah, I know she's red nose. So as far as that, that's all I really know. I haven't gotten around to like doing one of those DNA tests and stuff. My sister-in-law's all into that, but I just I don't have time. She's a pit bull. She's cute. Honestly, that's like all I need to know about her. But like growing up, like I never had one, but all my friends always had pit bulls, and they were just like some of the sweetest animals. They always have such a bad rep. But man, are they like some of the cutest dogs. That's not looking good. That's a bad angle. Clean it off, start again. Where'd that brush go? Yeah, I hate working with gold. My custodians won a local award, but God, I hated working with the gold, and don't get me started on heroic armor. Yeah, it's just like... It's glittery. That's my thing. I don't mind the gold at all. Like, it's glittery, and so that's one thing, but... Yeah, gold's a tough one to work with. I've seen a lot of good work with, like, a few different types of gold. There was a channel I sent it, or a video that I sent to my friends, and, like, he had a really good way to do gold, actually, with the paint strategy that I was supposed to be using. What did you mix it with? I have to know now. When you say something inappropriate, my brain goes for some dumb reason to like KY jelly. So like if you're thinning your paints with that, I mean I know you're not. I just that for some stupid reason my brain just goes right to that. But that's like a Slaneshi army thing, I assume, right? Standard in every army, all covered in lube and varnished in lube. I didn't mix it with anything. I was going to say that Auric Armor Gold is basically a few gold flecks mixed with jizz. It's atrocious. Yes, it is. It's got like the thin little bits, and then it's got the thick bits, and yeah, you got to stir it real well, and you have to constantly manipulate it. Thinning it like makes it worse, but it is great for highlighting. Oop, as you can see with my thumb in the way. Do I want to do any face stuff gold? Maybe like the respirators. I mean, they're gold now, so that's something. No, other gold in that line is that way. If you're a big fan of GOV paint, go with Relictor Gold. Yeah, I'll have to... I still need to pick up... I've got like a whole wall of them, but I'm still... I mean, I need much more. Relictor Gold Air. It's already thin, and it's a much better alternative. Yeah, they must not have had it at the time when I was at my local store, because my local store is usually stocked, but this time I don't think that they were. The last time I didn't see it, and it's been a minute since like they've gotten a good stock, because like the last bit of paint that I got from them, great store, like normally this isn't an issue, but like I got like a bunch of paint that was just really crusty and gross, and like it got set in a really hot cargo container, and I can only assume that's what happened. And it's just so chunky, like, and I had to bring it back, and now I'm waiting for them to get colors on that because the whole shipment that they got was like that. There's a lot of whites. It's always an issue with white, and then there's some other colors like golds and stuff. Check the air paint section. They usually keep those separate. Yeah, see, my local game store doesn't have air paint stuff. It's just Citadel and Army Painter. But when I airbrush, I don't have an airbrush, but I use my buddies. I really wish I had one. Saving up for one. That's kind of what. Well, either the channel I made the channel so I could hopefully in the future be able to afford to get myself the airbrush. But I hand paint, and I like the hand paint. But I use my buddies anyways, and I just use a little bit of the Army Painter with some Flow Aid, and then. Usually pretty good. I mean, it works out well enough. I've always been a brush painter, so for me going to airbrush is like kind of tough. Not tough per se, but weird because I've always been a hand painter. And I can't break old habits, but the airbrushing, no doubt, like my Tantalus over here and all that. I mean, God, can you imagine here? Can you imagine hand painting that thing? I hand painted that sail. That was the last time I'm hand painting anything on it. Screw that. I'm airbrushing it. I should have airbrushed it in the first place. But it's a huge model, like compared to regular Ravager or Raider. They keep the paints and air paints in a separate section. I don't use it on air paint. So yeah, no, so we just have that. But we also have like 3 hobby lobbies in the area and a bunch of stuff that have airbrush sections, and like a Michael's and a bunch of art stores. My town is a very progressive art town, so there's lots of those, thank God. There we go. Also, if you must airbrush, there's a master kit on Amazon for like $80. It's freaking amazing. Please tell me that master kit comes with an air compressor. Because if it comes with an air compressor, send me a link and I'll fucking buy that shit like tonight or tomorrow. I'm too lazy to look stuff up myself when it comes to like that because I haven't got into that point. I also have a baby on the way, so I'm limiting my spending more towards that. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look into that one then, because it's the master kit on Amazon. Hey, thank you. Yeah, we're probably about 7 or 8 weeks, so it's still super early, but like, man, is it exciting. Like, it's gonna sound weird, I didn't have like my dad growing up. So it's always been a weird dream of mine to be a kid, like to be a kid's father, to like be there for that kid, because I never had that, and now I get to do that, and it's just super exciting. So but we haven't like done any like huge announcements or anything. It's just whatever. But it's nice. I mean, it's there. She's preggers. It is what it is. I think she's probably 8 or 9 weeks, honestly. But I have a whole nursery to work on, so my modeling money is on a hold, which is fine. I make a good amount of money for the most part. I just need to allocate it towards baby, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Like hobby, I've got plenty for me and the wife to play against each other and have at least we have about 2,000 points between us. Well, 4,000 between us, I believe. It's 2,000 each, so enough to play like decent games, and then all our friends do. And I've got paints for days. Yeah, my buddy, before I told everybody, I actually just told all my friends Saturday over the weekend, and I was telling him, like, I'm he bought the Knights Codex as soon as it came out, and he has like 4 Knights and all this other stuff, and he's like, dude, you gotta buy Chaos Knights, you gotta buy a Chaos Army, and I really wanted a Chaos Army, and I really want like a, I would love a Death Guard army, but yeah, baby, you know, I got a baby, and it's so that has to come first, and but I didn't tell him, and so he's like expecting me to get all gung ho into this, and he's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Like it's all good." And it's not that I was sad by any means, but it was like I haven't told them yet, so he was just like, "Oh shit, Cody's not doing Warhammer. No, what's going on?" But then we told them after our mortuary friend just talked. It was kind of a funny story. The friend that I was just talking about, his fiance is a mortician's assistant, and so she was always tells me about the morgue, and then I get to help her with morgue stuff because I work in the hospital, so I help her directly with things sometimes with the OR, and that was a lot of thinner. Fuck. Oh well. It'll dry like in 5 seconds anyways. But she was outside and she was talking about how she went to the hospital and she had to get the babies out of the baby drawer, and I was like, oh shit, there's a baby drawer, and I have a morbid sense of humor, so I was just like, oh shit, there's a baby drawer, cool, like that's where the babies are, and she's like, yeah, they just keep the babies in a drawer, they're in there nicely, it's not like they're thrown in there, and my wife got like shocked because she's a very like vanilla. I love my wife. She's so like innocent, and she was just like, oh, like, oh my god, baby drawer, and like, so I'm like, well, yeah, you know, like when things happen, not abortions, but like when things happen, it's a body, and they gotta go somewhere, and they treat it with respect, and but we were just about to announce that we were pregnant, and I was like sitting there. Now this is an old coworker of mine, and we used to like me and her like used to fuck with each other like no other all the time, just like random stuff, like screaming at each other for nothing, like just it sounds weird, but it's hard to explain. So like I instantly was like, this is the perfect time to announce that we're having a baby. Like so I waited a minute, and like we were talking, and something happened, like, and it was only about a minute went by, and after like something happened where Brooke was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling too well, and somebody was like, oh, what is it? And I was like, oh, it's because Brooke's pregnant, and like I stared my friend in the face, just like the one that just told the dead baby stuff, and I was like, ain't that funny?
We are the Emperor's chosen.
Hey, dude, thanks for following, Rosale. Very much appreciated. So that's how we told our friends, and then she just sat there, gasped, like it was the funniest shit. And she was like, I'm so sorry, there's not a baby drawer. I'm like, you don't have to lie to us. There's a baby drawer. Please tell me there's like, I know there's a baby drawer. It's okay. But it's just funny to hear that from her, and she like I love catching her off guard because she's like as a mortician, she's a weird person. All us weirdos kind of cling together. Didn't mean to cut me off. What? Oh, you're fine, dude. I'd say I'm with the thing. I say I want that airbrush, so that is all good for me. And you're typing. You can't cut me off while you're typing, silly. I just look over and read. And pay attention to where my hands are, and so that way you guys can actually see what I'm fucking painting, because I need to get much better at that. It's a little watery. I'm afraid to do some of like the finer bits. I might have to like dry it out a little. The boobies I am afraid to touch, because if it pools, that's gonna pool. But it's not, so we're good. And I touched it a little right there, but that's okay, I can fix that. A little gray can fix it all. We'll give it a nice... Since this is like the only gold on the gun, I might as well paint it. No, with the follow, you were mid-sentence and we are the Emperor's Chosen. Oh yeah, dude, I love it though. It's nice to see it like actually, like, not to say it's working, but holy, it's, you know, it's nice to actually have people like tune in, because like yet again, I used to like stream video games, and I streamed like, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it was all cool, but I used to like direct input old original Xbox games and stuff, and I would play them and stream them like Ninja Gaiden, but I kept running into the same issue where the only viewers that I was getting were like click speedrunner people that were invested into this really weird, obscure game that I'm playing. Not like Ninja Gaiden's weird and obscure, but like I would sometimes play weird, like Jet Set Radio Future I played. Not a lot of people are into that. And like this one kid I played, huge brony, flag one. I mean, whatever. But I mean, I don't judge, I guess, but so huge brony, and he's like super duper fucking obsessed with Jet Set Radio Future, and he's speedrunning the shit out of the game every day since it came out, and he's like one of 4 people on Twitch doing it, if that. Okay, there we go. I got mesmerized by the golden balls. I needed to make sure that nothing like spilled over on those, because I really like the look of them. Focus. Thank you. Too much light. That looks really nice. I like that. You know, I think I'm going to stick with that method. I really like the method that this dude's got. Or at least that the I saw, because it's my method that I've got, that I've adapted to. Oops, shoulders. And just FYI, I'm usually on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at, well, it'd be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays at 12 in the morning, but I get out of work during certain times, and it's just like, or I get out of work at 11:30 p.m., and then as soon as I get out of work, I just go home and I say hi to the wife, and she works second shift too. She's a therapist, so her hours are kind of whatever she wants them to be. And I'll say goodnight to her, grab a bite to eat, and then I usually start streaming about 12:30. And I'm really trying to be on it about those 3 nights in particular, just so I can keep it going. But just FYI, so like if you guys want to just catch me on those times, I do the same thing. I mean, I'll do this and I'll just chat. Sometimes I'll have a podcast going, but the downside is that it mutes my stream, and my brother subscribes, so I don't know if he watches like live and he's lurking right now. Jared. Or I'm gonna call you out, motherfucker. Or if he likes to watch me like later on. I don't know if he does all the time, but if I do it, then it mutes my shit. So I just stick to on Spotify, there's a Warhammer ambiance playlist that I love that I just play. Otherwise, sometimes I do podcasts and then I'll just deal with it being muted the next day. If he's watching it live, then I'll do it that way. But for the most part, I just try to chill and do it. This is like what I do to get away from crazy shit at the operating room in the hospital and stuff. Because some nights it's like really nice and it's very calm and I've got my office and like if all my people are working and they don't need my help and it's like there's barely enough work for them to do, I can just like hang out, and as long as everybody's doing their jobs, I don't have to really do anything, and it's really nice. But then shit can hit the fan real quick with a shooting or something, and then we got to build the case for it and grab all the instruments and stuff, and it can be a fucking nightmare. And sometimes it's like multiple shootings happen and multiple, weird things will happen. Like 5 people will have like an appendectomy because their appendix burst at the exact same time in town. It's happened. It's weird. A lot of stuff up butts. Yeah, definitely, dude. Rizal, you're more than welcome. I appreciate chatting with you, man. But for real, though, we get a lot of stuff up butts. Pickle jar is the most interesting one. I walked into the room on that one. I was delivering forceps because they called me and they're just like, "Hey Cody, can you deliver me some forceps with teeth on them? I need to grab something so the suture can sink in." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll grab you like a Gerald forcep or whatever." And so I grab him a Gerald forcep and I walk into the room like I normally do, and I look over and I see a jar of pickles on the side table, and I was like, "What the fuck is a jar of pickles doing in the operating room?" They're kosher, is a pretty big jar, like a jar that looks like it wouldn't go up butts, definitely not. And so I asked the lady, the nurse, I'm like, "Hey, so like, what's up with the jar of pickles on the side of the table?" And she was like, "Oh, that was up that guy's butt." And I just like was like, "Oh shit," and I walked out of the room. Apparently, what had happened, and this is always the story, by the way. Like, yeah, no, okay. So Rizal, you've kind of got it. So get this. So the guy, and this has happened, and so like I don't have to tell the story again because I'm good. It's the same thing. I'll just tell the objects because the story's always the same every time in the emergency room. Man comes in, butt clenched, goes, "I need to talk to a doctor. I don't want to talk to a nurse. I want to talk to a doctor in a room privately." So it's like, okay, they go sit down. They talk to the nurse, and they eventually get a doctor. They go to the doctor and go, "Doctor, there's something way up my butt." And my butt got greedy and it ate it. And so the doctor will say, "Well, what happened?" And usually the story, and well, I'm going to say like it's almost 100% of the time, they will just go, I'll say it's 90% of the time because of a kid, a teenager. I'll tell you about that after. But he said, "Yeah, I was in my fridge and I was really constipated, and I read on Google that putting a jar of pickles up your ass was a way to relieve constipation." Why? Like, why? It's not. Like, that made it worse, dude. He just was experimenting and didn't want to say. So it didn't make sense at all. But the whole I fell onto it, that is actually a very normal thing. That is like, man, this dried up so quick already. You see this? I just put like a butt ton of this liquid on there. My wet palette's already drying out. We had one kid though who came in and he walked into the ER loud and proud and said, "I have a big dildo up my butt and I want it out." And he was like, he admitted to it. I mean, yeah, I know, right? Impact it with more impaction. So he just came in, and he was like, all like, "Yep, I was in the shower. It was a suction cup to the wall of my shower. I was having a sexual moment with it, and I lost it." it went up there. He owned up to it and everything and was just like, I just want it back. So they had to dig it out of his butt, and when he woke up, the first thing he asked for was, where's my dildo? It was a 12-inch neon green dildo, and he grabbed it and he left. It was because most of that's like a in and out kind of deal. And that's the only time that somebody that I've ever heard of took something out of their butt and then took it home with them to probably put back in their butt. I mean, if that's what his thing is, that's fine. Just his butthole got greedy. Anatomy fact, because I'm working, I'm in college, by the way. I'm in college. I'm on break right now, but if you put something up the sphincter too far, the muscles that usually make the poop go down reverse and make the poop go up, and they'll suck at whatever's up right up your butt. Yeah, he wished it was in and out, and that's why he was in there. Yeah. Now, some people, dude, like I'm talking the truth, man. Emergency rooms can get real. I find it funny. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, they tell me they don't know how I can do it and deal with the bloody stuff. And it's like, yeah, you got to see the bloody stuff. But, I mean, that's just what we're made of. I don't look at it as, like, anything other than, like, it's what we're made of. And it's nothing, it's not, I mean, some people think it's gross. I find it interesting. My anatomy class has taught me one thing. The body is very interesting, just the way that we're alive. But I do find it very fascinating. And I get to see a lot of surgical procedures firsthand, which is really wonderful. It helped with my anatomy class that I was in, so that was really great. Because then I can just go in and I'm like, that's adipose tissue, that's muscle tissue, that's bone, that's this. Look at the ulna, then I could like go in and say like, I want to see a surgery with a broken ulna to learn more about the ulna. Okay, there we go. That gold looks really nice. So what time is it? So it's 2:30. I finished the gold on this chick. I think this is where I'm gonna leave it for now. I do have to work tomorrow, and I have to take the wife to her office, so it's not till later. But I do need to get to bed within like the next hour, just so I can have a good 7 hours of sleep on me. I got a shift to run. I have nothing but respect for ER staff. Like, yeah, minor shit sometimes goes back in the burner, even if you don't have minor at the time. But every time I needed real no shit care, they've been there for me. Yeah, no, the ER is great. Tried going to like a fucking urgent care with an urgent emergency. They're not doctors. They're God, what is the word? Healthcare professionals. They're not doctors. There are no doctors at urgent cares. They can say they're doctors. Look at their badges. They can wear a coat. They're not doctors. I mean, I might be wrong at most of them, but the ones in my town, they're not doctors. They're care providers. They go through people like no other. I mean, I see the positioning all the time, and I've asked inside of one, and the guy's like, yeah, there's not a doctor here, but we can get you like a prescription for this medication from a pharmacist. I'm like, fuck, okay, cool, but damn. I thought the person in the coat I talked to was a doctor. No, that's just one of our lead guys. I'm like, oh, so they just give him white coats. That's great. But I do actually. I gotta get rolling. I'm glad that you guys checked out my stream. I will be back probably tonight, honestly. Well, as in tonight, today. So. Yeah, you know what I mean, after I work, but I'll be on because I have got more of these Seraphims I gotta paint, and then I got a bunch of other stuff, so we'll see. But yeah, I was about to say I gotta get the hell to bed myself. Yeah, man, I feel ya. Oh, dude, thanks for bullshitting with me too. It's been fun. So everybody else, peace out. Thanks for watching. I'll be on tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Wednesday for sure. We'll see. But I'm sure I'll be on. I'll be there. So, lates.